Video, I'm going to share some of the best strategies and insights from a bunch of our different programs to help you figure out where in your business there is the biggest opportunity for growth. And I'll also share 4 specific tactics that you can apply to see an immediate boost in your revenues. Now, before we dive into those specific tactics, I want to give you some framing for all the work that we do. Fundamentally, growth is driven by 2 things: increasing customer value and increasing customer volume. Customer value is about the dollars you earn from a single customer. If people buy more and more expensive things from you, then your business can grow even if the number of customers you have stays the same. And volume is about the number of customers. More customers means more revenue. Now, both of these levers are really important, and I'll talk about how to pull on them both in this video, but the order is also important. A lot of people have this idea that they should start by trying to bring in more volume, and they get involved in all kinds of marketing activities to try to do that. The problem is that it is a little bit like trying to run up an escalator that's going the other way. It's really hard. So for example, consider the typical value ladder where you've got the free thing, then the $100 thing, then the $1,000 thing, and then the high ticket offer. I'm sure you're familiar with the concept. Well, it's true that a mature and successful business will have all the rungs on that ladder. But what a lot of people get wrong is the order in which you should be building them out. They imagine that you should build the steps out from left to right. First the free lead magnet, then the cheap product, then the flagship course, and only then have you earned the credibility to present the world with something higher ticket. But that's actually completely backwards. The way that works a lot better is to start all the way on the left with the free thing so that people can start getting to know you, and then go all the way over to the right with the really expensive high value offer. So you build the ladder from the ends first, and then you fill out the rungs in the middle. And this is really important because building out an engine that can attract a lot of leads is the sort of thing that takes time. And of course it's worth doing, but you've got to pay your bills in the meantime. And often you also have to invest in your business to create that engine. And if you don't have that massive lead flow yet, the only way your business will generate enough revenues to support itself and to fund your growth is by multiplying the low volume that you can currently drive with a higher customer lifetime value, a high customer lifetime value. So it's not optional. For your business to be sustainable, you have to start with that high value offer first. And when I explain this to people, I hear the same 2 responses, often in the same sentence. That's the opposite of how I've been thinking about it, and it makes so much sense. Now, with that being said, let's talk about how we approach the marketing of expertise-based offers so you can create more valuable ones and also sell a lot more of them. And the underlying framework for everything that we teach is my catalyst method. And I didn't choose the word by accident. Catalysis means something very specific. Catalysis is what happens when you have 2 or more ingredients that are inert by themselves, but when you introduce a catalyst, magic happens. So for example, any gardener knows that if you mix together seeds and soil, nothing will happen. But if you add water, you get a beautiful blooming garden. You can mix together sugar and yeast and nothing will happen. But if you add heat, which is the catalyst, you get CO2, which is what makes bread rise, and also alcohol, which is what turns grape juice into wine. You can mix together hydrogen and oxygen and nothing will happen. But if you add a spark, that's the catalyst, you get water through what scientists call an exothermic reaction. Now, in the context of business, our goals are to create financial leverage, freedom, and impact. But those are the end results. And the way that we create them is to catalyze 2 key ingredients. There is insight, right? Your insight into what your audience really wants and needs. And then there is the trust that you've earned from your market. But if all you have are those 2 ingredients, you're just going to end up with a lot of people who say you're really great and then go and buy from somebody else. To actually convert that insight and trust into the outcome that you want in your business, you need to catalyze them with what I call a catalyst offer. So that's the high-level framework that we teach. So now with that on the table, let's get into the 4 tactics that we tend to start with first when we're helping our clients unlock rapid revenue growth in their businesses. We start by installing an insight and trust engine in our clients' businesses. The insight engine is designed to keep deepening your insight into what your ideal customers want, need, and care about. And this is critically important because if you don't have that clarity, you can't create the content or marketing materials that will attract more customers, and you can't design high-value offers that they will care enough to invest in. And the trust engine is the marketing machine that keeps exposing your work to more people and earns their trust so that they're receptive and interested in the offers that you want to enroll them into. Now, there are a lot of different strategies that we teach our students for building their trust engines, depending on what fits their strengths and the industry that they're operating in. So, for example, being promoted by influencers, being featured on podcasts, speaking on stages, or leveraging a social media or content platform like LinkedIn or YouTube. But regardless of which strategy is the right one for you in your business, you probably aren't going to execute it perfectly right from day one. And that's totally fine because that's how learning works. And something that I tell my clients is that the first step towards doing something well is the willingness to do it badly. But the way you go from doing it badly to doing it well is by installing a feedback loop so you can quickly learn and grow. That's the first tactic. Whatever strategy you employ, making sure there is a feedback loop in place to help you decode what is and isn't working so you can do better with each cycle. Now, like I said before, lots of trust and insight isn't enough. If that's all you have, then basically it means that there are going to be a lot of people who love you and say how great you are, and then they go and buy from your competitors who you know don't care or deliver nearly as much as you do. And that's super frustrating. That's why you can already have a lot of established insight and trust, as many experts do, and still not be earning anywhere near the sort of income that you should be. But the good news there is that if that's the position you're in, then you can probably unlock a lot of growth in your business really fast. You just need to catalyze the insight and trust that you've already established and earned with your market. To catalyze all that insight and trust into revenue and impact, you need what I call a catalyst offer. And we have a very robust process for designing and launching these catalyst offers that we've helped people apply in a wide range of different industries to create 5- and 6-figure paydays. Industries ranging from art and painting to dream interpretation to genealogy to business growth to bone health and lots more. I can't walk you through all the details in this short video, but I can give you a crash course, and I'll share some specific tactics that you can think about applying in your business. Now, a catalyst offer has 3 sides to it. First, there is the wish fulfilled. That's about the core of the offer being something that your ideal customer deeply and powerfully desires. Then there are the 3 dimensions of scarcity that make it a no-brainer for them to sign up and to do it right now. And third, there's the white glove, which is about the enrollment experience that feels frictionless and makes them feel special and even lucky to be offered the opportunity to work with you. And like I said, there's a lot that goes into each of these components, but I'm going to share with you one tactic that goes with each. So let's start with the wish fulfilled, which is about creating an offer that they want more than anything you ever offered them before. Now, there are several approaches that we teach to really digging into this, but one of those approaches is to figure out which of the 3 core human drivers the offer taps into. You can figure this out with the classic 5 whys exercise where you ask, why do they want that? And then you take the answer and you say, but why do they want that? You do it again and again until you get down to the bottom. And what you'll find is that every offer boils down to one of just 3 core human desires. There is safety and security, which includes making and saving money. There is love and connection, which includes everything to do with dating, relationships, social esteem, etc. And there's health and well-being. Or if it's easier to remember, the way some marketers like to articulate these 3 desires is as getting paid, getting laid, and staying alive, although that's a little bit reductive. Now, the real trick isn't just to figure out which is the relevant core human driver. It also is to figure out how far down the ladder your messaging should focus. And it's usually not at the top, which is where you're very focused on the specifics and tactics of your offer and approach. And it's also not all the way at the bottom, because even though that's the driver, it can feel a little just over the top and reductive. But by chasing down this thread, we can really understand what people want and how to connect that core desire with our offer. So next, there are the 3 dimensions of scarcity. And there's a lot that I could say about scarcity, but here's what this boils down to at a very basic level. Our brains are wired to value and pay attention to things that are scarce in supply. And you've got to be thoughtful about the way that you integrate scarcity into your offer, because it can feel manipulative and off-putting if you do it wrong. But there are legitimate and ethical ways to do it, and one of my favorites is through scarce skin in the game. And the idea here is that we live in an era of enormous skepticism and cynicism on the part of consumers. And they might love the promises that you're making, but they're also concerned about whether you will actually be able to deliver, not just in general, but also specifically for them. Skin in the game is about having some sort of stake in the outcome that makes you accountable to delivering that outcome. And there are lots of ways to do this, and we've done it in different ways in different programs of ours. So for example, when I work with people privately, I give them the choice between an all-cash fee or a smaller cash retainer plus a percentage of their revenues as they grow. That shows them that I'm committed to their outcomes and accountable to delivering results, because if they don't make money, then I don't make money. And we do the same in our Monetize Me program about creating catalyst offers. Our Monetize Business Accelerator, or MBA program, operates without any long-term contracts. So we have to keep earning your participation every single week. You can quit anytime, and that makes us accountable to deliver. In our ACES business coaching program, we guarantee that you will at the very least make back 100% of your investment with us, so you know that we're accountable to delivering results. And there are other ways that we do it in other programs and other ways that we help our clients integrate skin in the game into their offers. The point is not that you have to use a particular formulation, but rather that when you integrate skin in the game, it dramatically increases trust, which is a critical accelerant for your business. Now, the last piece of your catalyst offer is the white glove, which is about the experience of presenting and then being enrolled into the offer that you're trying to make. And there's a lot that goes into doing this really well, but one tactic that we've found to be a game changer for the entrepreneurs that we serve is to present their catalyst offer through a Google offer document instead of on a typical website sales page or even a PDF or Word document. The beauty of this structure is that it feels a lot less formal. When people are given a link to a web-based sales page or even a PDF or Word document, it has the feel of something that's been written, finalized, and polished. Whereas a Google Doc can be edited in real time, so it feels like you're lifting up the velvet rope and inviting them into the inner sanctum. This dramatically transforms the experience and makes a massive difference to the conversion rates on the offers. My personal record is about $1.4 million over the course of just under a year, with just a couple of Google Docs and personal emails to a few hundred people. And many of our clients have used the same approach to create 5- and sometimes 6-figure paydays in a matter of weeks. And as an added benefit, these Google offer docs are a lot faster and easier to put together, so they allow you to actually start generating revenue that much more quickly. Now, like I said, this is just a quick overview of our whole process, plus some of the best tips from inside our various programs. If you want to explore how we can apply these processes to accelerate your revenue growth, reach out to us and you can book a call with one of our strategists. They can help you see where the best opportunities are in your business right now and how we might be able to help you capitalize on them. With that, I hope this video was instructive and helpful, and I look forward to celebrating your success in the coming weeks and months.